talk to black men. Black men, I'm very disappointed in us. Black fathers, I'm very disappointed in us. Why do I not see black fathers at back to school night? Why do I not see black fathers at suspension conferences? Why do I not see black fathers during midweek report? Why do I not see black fathers stopping by doing drive-bys on their sons? And I don't want to hear the mother don't let you. I don't want to hear that, because you can go to family court and get shared legal custody over educational and medical decisions.
The audacity, the unmitigated gall, Stephen A. voice, of Umar Johnson to try to criticize black men not being in their father's lives when Umar himself has two daughters that we know of, that we've never seen him with ever in his career. Have you ever seen Umar's daughters up at FDMG with him? You ever seen Umar on a daddy and daughter date ever? Have you ever seen Umar talk about he's going to go pick up his children for the weekend, take them here? You ever heard of Umar mentioning he's going to send some support to his children? So for this man to get on camera and try to chastise black men and essentially say there's no excuse for you not to be in your child's life, when Umar is not even in his own children's life, just as another example of the hypocrisy that Umar Johnson is on. And again, y'all Umar supporters believe that this man is going to save black boys when he can't even save his own children. Let's make it make sense.
You can go to family court and get shared legal custody over medical and educational decisions. So I don't want no excuses to my black men. Now, my black men who are on your job, I'm not talking to you. My black men who are on your job, my black fathers who are doing what you're supposed to do, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the black fathers. Whether you live in America, Canada, Toronto, I don't care if you in the UK, Caribbean, Central South America, this is a global problem. This is a global problem. I'm not seeing enough black men involved in their sons' academics, and I don't want to hear the excuse. I don't want to hear the excuse that the mothers are not letting you. And the reason...
Again, as I've always mentioned in my other Umar videos, if you listen to Umar closely, he always tells on himself. He's literally sitting here on camera, outside, hanging outside of FDMG as usual. As you see, no real progress going on in the school, no updates, just hanging out, chilling. But that's another story for another day. He has the audacity, again, to chastise black men and say there's no excuse for you not to be in your son or daughter's life. But again, we never see this man. Think about it. He's been on the internet now for 10 plus years. When have you ever seen Umar out with his daughters? When have you ever seen him? He travels all across the world. When you think sometimes maybe you bring your daughters along with you? These are just questions that I have for the supporters to ask yourself, man, this man is not even in his own children's lives. How does it make any logical sense that he's going to mentor and lead other people's children when he can't even do it with his own?
The reason I don't want to hear the excuse. The reason I don't want to hear the excuse that mothers are not letting you is because you have no problem getting to football practice every day. You have no problem getting to your son's football practice. You have no problem getting to your son's football games.
So according to Umar, like I said, no excuses. You have no problem getting to the football game. There's no excuse not to get to the football games. There's no excuses not to show up at the parent-teacher conferences. Shouldn't Umar be taking his own advice? I mean, he has time to travel across the world, the globe. He's in a different, every weekend he's in a different city. I mean, every month he's in a different country, but yet no time for your own daughters. And I'm honestly supposed to believe that you're going to lead other people's children. Again, make it make sense. Like I said, this video is for the Umar supporters. And I'm sure a lot of Umar supporters have children. So ask yourself the question, when have you ever seen Umar with his two daughters?
You have no problems getting to your son's basketball games. You have no problems getting to your son's basketball practice. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Go to a football game, black fathers all over the place. Go to a basketball game, black fathers are all over the place. Go to a track meet, black fathers are all over the place. But then when it's time to go to report card conference, you missing in action. It's time for suspension conference, you missing in action. It's time for...
Just want to pause the video real quick. I'm going to play a clip because I know what the Umar supporters are going to say. Well, how do you know Umar got children? Umar ain't never said he had children. So let me provide the proof so we can go ahead and eliminate that excuse right now. Because like I said, Umar supporters love to come up with all these excuses for him in my comment section. So just give me 1 second. I'm going to debunk that right now. We're going to debunk that real quick. Here we go. We're going to share this video. And I'm going to let Umar tell you for himself.
I was just curious on a question for Dr. Umar here. You said he has two daughters. Is that correct, doctor?
Yes, sir.
What if your daughters come to you and say, Dad, I know you're feeling...
Hold up. Let's play that. Let's play that back again just in case the supporters missed it.
I was just curious on a question for Dr. Umar here. You said he has two daughters. Is that correct, doctor?
Yes, sir.
What if your daughters come to you and say, Dad, I know your feelings, but I am falling in love with a guy outside my race?
And I will say, I will always love you as my daughter, and I will always be disappointed in your decision.
Ooh, that hurt.
Yeah. I was just curious on a question for Dr. Umar here. You said...
So there you have it. Out of Umar's own mouth, he admits that he has two daughters. Like I said, I just had to do that for the supporters because they love to come up with frivolous arguments as to why to defend Dr. Umar. So let's get back to the video. Let me pull this up. All right. Okay, we back.
For a child study team meeting, you missing in action. It's time for an IEP meeting, you're missing in action. It's time for a report card conference, you're missing in action.
So again, if we use Umar's logic, when it's time for the important things, according to Umar, black men are always missing in action. Now, if we apply that same logic to Umar Johnson, how is it possible that he's in his daughter's lives when every weekend he's in a different state? I mean, all you gotta do is go to his Instagram page. It's well documented. He literally has his agenda for the whole year laid out. He's in different states every 2-3 days. How does he have any time to visit his daughters? I mean, I believe they're probably grown now. They're probably, I mean, like I said, they might be, they're probably either in their late teens or early 20s. So, I mean, Umar Johnson has been running this scam, this FDMG scam, and traveling the world giving the same speeches for the past 10 years. So how active has he really been in his own daughter's lives? Again, and you think this man is going to lead your black son?
If you don't understand what I'm saying right now, if you don't understand what I'm saying right now, I want you to go to the next Little League football game in your neighborhood tomorrow, Saturday, or Sunday. I want you to go to the next Little League football game in your neighborhood. Look at all the black men cheering their sons on. Look at all the black men cheering other black boys in the neighborhood on who are not their sons. And then go into the schools on report card night. Go into the schools on back to school night. Go into the schools during suspension.
Good point. How many school conference meetings do you think Umar has missed? How many? Traveling across the world, spending time talking about 5'5" thick in the thighs. I wonder when it comes to his daughter, is it schoolwork over the punani, or is it the punani over the schoolwork? Or is it the punani over being an active father? Again, these are Umar's own words. I'm not putting words in the man's mouth. You hear it for yourself. He's saying it's no excuse not to be in your children's lives. Yet we have never seen this man with his children. And he literally lives his life on the internet. He's live on Instagram, doing interviews multiple times a week. And we've never seen this man with his children. But yet you honestly believe when he tells you he wants to open a school for black boys and he wants to lead and mentor them.
Reinstatement meeting. Go into the school during the IEP meeting. Where are the black fathers? Black men, we are failing our boys. Black men, we are failing our boys. Black men, we are failing our boys because we are showing them that we only care about sports. We don't care about academics. We only care about sports. We don't care about academics. And don't let me talk about these Negro coaches out here. Oh yeah, I'm talking to you coaches. Don't let me get on these slave driving Negro coaches. You are the slave drivers for the athletic plantation of America. You black male coaches, you are the slave drivers for the athletic plantation in America. Slave drivers. You know you
Sitting outside a dilapidated, abandoned building, literally exposing his own self.
got boys on your team who failing and you still letting them play. You know you got boys on your team who barely go to school and you still letting them play. And you give Dr. Umar the excuse, well, Doc, if he makes it, he'll be a millionaire. Doc, if he makes it, he'll be a millionaire. Dr. Umar, if he makes it, he'll be a millionaire.
I wonder how many excuses Umar gave his daughters over the years when he was traveling around the country giving the same old tired speeches, when he was having affairs with a conscious stripper. How many excuses have Umar given his daughters, but yet he has the audacity to come here and try to chastise black men? Make it make sense.
I understand. But what about if he don't make it? Patah Negus, you a goddamn coon. Get off my live. Got an African name and you fighting back against black men being responsible, you damn coon. Get your ass off my live, you idiot. Black fathers, black coaches, how dare you? Black coaches, how dare you have a student on your team who's failing a class, especially the neighborhood leagues. In many of the school leagues, they can only fail 2 subjects, and they wouldn't be on my team if they failing 1 subject. In many school districts, they allowed to fail 2 subjects, but if they was on my team, they couldn't fail 1 subject. So at least in the school district, they have some control. At least in the school district, they have some control. But these neighborhood football leagues, these neighborhood basketball leagues, y'all don't care how many classes they fail. Y'all don't care when's the last time they went.
Again, this is a common theme with Umar. He's always so concerned about what other people are doing, gossiping about other people, but yet never holds himself accountable for anything. He doesn't hold himself accountable for his lack of participation in his daughter's lives. He doesn't hold himself accountable for the lack of progress with FDMG. It's always someone else's fault. It's always the contractors. There's always someone scammed them. They got over on him. It's never Umar's fault when it comes to anything. He has no, he never takes any accountability for absolutely anything. So for him, again, to come on this camera and try to chastise black coaches, black men that are actually active in his life, active in their children's lives, and a lot more active in their lives than Umar was with his daughters, is absurd.
Went to school. Y'all don't care if the special ed team is failing them. Y'all don't care if the IEP is not appropriate. All you care is about wins and losses on the football field, basketball field. Let's call it what it is, plantation. 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 All y'all care about wins and losses on the plantation. The football plantation, the basketball plantation, because y'all get kickbacks, y'all get set-asides, and y'all get certain perks by helping the colleges and the junior college.
We can say the same thing about Umar. He said these coaches are getting kickbacks. Well, so essentially Umar's saying that these coaches get kickbacks to basically kind of sell these children out. Well, doesn't Umar Johnson do the same thing when he's traveling across the world, telling you to hit the Cash App and hit the PayPal? When he's overseas, giving these same tired speeches, when he could have been using that same time to spend with his daughters? Or how about using that same time to actually deliver on this school scam that he's been running for 10 plus years? Again, I don't understand how you could be an Umar Johnson supporter and literally see this man telling himself video after video after video, and you continue to support him.
And the prep schools find the most talented athletes. Don't nobody care about whether or not they finish their work. Nobody cares about whether or not they're passing their classes. No one cares about that. We only care about wins and losses on a football field and basketball court.
And Umar Johnson only cares about PayPal, Cash Apps, and single mothers being 5'5" and thick in the thighs.
But what happens when they lose in life, Mr. Father and Mr. Coach? What happens when they lose in life? What happens when they don't make anything out of themselves because you let them believe that they were so great?
What happens when Umar's daughters needed a father figure? And again, he was traveling the world, giving the same tired speeches, scamming and finessing because he never wanted to work a real job.
Made them believe that they were so great athletic. Me down for telling black fathers to go to the IEP meeting. Instagram just shut me down for telling black fathers to go to report card conferences. Instagram just shut me down for telling black fathers to go to back to school night. Instagram just shut me down for telling black coaches that there's more to the black boy's future than basketball and football. Can y'all believe this, brothers and sisters? I gotta find a new platform. I gotta find a new platform. I gotta find a new platform. Instagram shut me down for telling black fathers to go to schools and not just basketball games. Instagram shut me down for telling black fathers to go to IEP meetings, not just football games. Can y'all believe this, brothers and sisters? Can y'all believe this, brothers and sisters? Can y'all believe this? I got shut down for telling fathers to be in their sons' lives. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Same old conspiracy rhetoric when it comes to Umar. He swears someone is the powers that be are out to get him and sabotage him, when the truth is this is a scam, and the only person sabotaging this FDMG school scam is Umar himself. Let me know what you think in the comments about Umar trying to chastise black men when we've never seen this man. He's been publicly online for at least 10 years, and we've never seen him with his children. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.